Yeah.
So welcome everyone, September, and a little deluxe. This is the deluxe group. So everyone that's not here is missing out this week, this month. So good to see you all. So, this is a great month in Australia. It's spring. The weather's starting to get better. What about in the US? It's starting to get a bit. Well, it's still hot over there,
Oh,
isn't
it's fall. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Today was 72 degrees. The sun's shining. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great time of the year. This isn't either spring and fall. I think they're both beautiful seasons.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we are. So this means the fact that we're only got a small group means you get lots of time to share your thoughts and ask questions, and we can dig into some stuff that can help. So, Sheree, because we haven't seen you for a little while, tell us where you've been. What have you been up to?
Well, it's sort of a joke. I tell people I've been hiding out at the KOA, which is a campground.
All right.
KOA is a nationwide, camping organization of America. They run these amazing campgrounds where these big RVs pull in. So I took a job as a reservation specialist. So I actually book a lot of the reservations, but I work in the cutest little camp store in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains. It's just adorable.
Yeah.
And I meet the most amazing people, and it is informing my writing.
Lovely.
So I've had some of the greatest experiences. It's amazing that it's a whole different.
Oh, we're losing you, Sheree. You're cutting out.
And
Hello, Felicia. Sorry, Sheree, we've lost you.
Everyone.
Sheree's frozen. You're back. She's gone. Internet. Don't you love it? While we're waiting for Sheree to come back, Denise, how are you?
I am editing. I got my report back from the assessor that you recommended, and she gave me very high marks on my manuscript,
Yep.
but made some recommendations as far as she warned me about writing a memoir and not a diary. And so I'm thinning out. So I'm doing a whole nother edit, which is just like everybody's favorite thing to do, right? I'm on chapter 7 and I'm busy every day working on it.
Good girl. Do you know what, Denise, can I tell you, editing is my favorite thing to do. Because it means you've done the hard work's writing the thing. Editing's it's like decorating the cake. That's like icing and smoothing and so don't ever worry about having to edit, because every time you go through an edit, Denise, you're just making it better and better and
Yeah.
better and better and better.
Yeah. I feel that way.
Good.
But every time I turn back to page 1, it's like, oh boy.
Here we go again. It's like Groundhog Day.
As a beginner author, I have this mindset of how I thought this was going to play out, and it hasn't gone anything like according to plan. Like the old sayings, the old joke: if you want to amuse God, tell him you have a plan. And so just I'm learning, and but I'm sticking with it. I'm in my writing group with Rosina and Lisa, and we're checking off our days on our Habit Share app and sharing with each other and staying in touch with each other and keeping each other supported. And so that's been a real boost.
Well done. That's wonderful. And I know you're a little bit overwhelmed with the report you got, but what you explained to me was very positive. She had lots of great things to say, which is amazing. So well done. The journey of an author. It's not a straight line.
Excuse me for a minute. I've just got to plug my computer in because it's on battery saver. I'll be back.
Okay. Sheree, have we got you now?
I think I got my connection back.
Good.
Yeah, it's like, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I love writing. I dove back into writing, so I'm pretty excited, and it just makes me realize it's where I really want to be. I love to write. So I just critiqued a really, really well-written historical fiction manuscript. Yep. And it's always a pleasure when you have a writer that's that talented. Now, unfortunately, the story, I'm a creative story editor, so We need to work on the story, but he's so good to work with because he's so realistic. He's excited about watching his manuscript mature.
Yeah.
So he's got the history, he's got the exciting scenes. He just needs to create his characters more. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I'm editing a novel that I finished about 1.5 to 2 years ago. And I'm going to take it back out for query. And then if not, I'm going to self-publish it. So that's fun too. I just reread your book, Andrew. So, thoughts, emotions, actions, results, success. That's just, you can't even think about that enough. So that's wonderful. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Good on you, Sheree. So good to have you back in the group, even though it's a little one. So thank you. Chris, how are you, mate? What's the update? Any update?
Not much of an update, but yes, I've been touching the book a bit, not as much as I should, at doing more catching up with my research because I haven't looked into a lot of it for a long time. But yeah, just still adding the odd notes here and there and sorting the story out into an order that can be told logically.
Good, mate. Good. I've just when we say I'm not doing as much as I should, because can we just say I'm doing it, I'm touching it every day?
Okay.
Because who says how much you should? I mean,
Yeah.
who defines, who sets the rules of how much you should? There's no such thing. So I think when we say that, what we're saying is I'm not really living up to my standards, which is I don't think is going to help. So mate, you're touching it. So happy with that. That's awesome. Well done.
Cool.
Because we could all do more, all of us.
Yeah.
The second we start saying, "Oh, I should be doing more," have you heard the saying, "You can should all over yourself," but it's not useful. Keep moving forward I was doing some training this morning. I was out early this morning training. There was this guy doing some stretching, and this has totally got nothing to do with writing, but I think it's the principle. And he's stretching and he's looked at me and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tight and I'm so sore. I must be getting old." And I said, "Mate, the key is just keep moving." And I think that's exactly the same with what we're doing. Just keep moving, because the second you stop is the second you tighten up. Obviously writing, you don't tighten up your muscles, but you tighten up your belief, you tighten up your maybe your creativity. So just keep moving, because that keeps everything loose. I mean, I'm 60 next year and I'm moving every day and I love it. Bring it on. So I think that can be applied to your writing, Chris, and you're moving. So
Cool. Yep.
well done. Thanks, Felicia. Here's a good analogy. I like it. Just keep moving. I think you could apply it to everything, couldn't you?
You could. That's right.
Now, Lise, have you plugged in?
Yeah, I had plugged in. I thought had a
Don't
lot
worry
of
about your puppy
bliss,
dog.
but
Lisa's puppy dog's squeaking toys in the background. So if you hear a squeak,
yes, sorry about that.
that's okay. We love pups.
Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm going to, well, after what Chris said, I'm not doing as much as I want to do,
Thank you.
but that I am doing something every day, so that's good. I'm
Well done.
just getting used to really not working every day, and I thought that would give me lots and lots of time to write. But as Andrew warned me, it's very easy to fill the day with other stuff. I can't believe it. So that's where I'm at the moment, but I am touching things every day, and and I'm getting there, I think. So hopefully I'll be finished the first quarter of my book according to my plan soon. So that, I think, is the hardest bit for me, because you're sort of developing your characters and that sort of thing, and it's still a little bit, but I think I'm getting them in my head, so then I think it'll move a bit further on from there, hopefully.
So you're
That's my
moving.
plan. I am
And
moving.
Movement.
I am moving,
Characters will
and
come.
that's good. And yeah, puppies take a lot of time, and they're very naughty. And
Cheeky is the word.
and I forgot all about how much work that is. But anyway, he's coming along too.
I'm sure he's an absolute joy.
He is. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at, and I'm happy with it. And it's a beautiful day here. It's nice and sunny, and I'm feeling good today.
Awesome. Well done, Les. Thanks for the report. And Felicia, you still eating dinner? I've probably got her with a mouthful. Yes. All right. Well, we'll when you're finished eating, you can join us and share. Good. Well, has anyone got any thoughts, any breakthroughs, any ideas, any questions, any challenges, anything? I mean, the floor is open. And I don't think we probably won't go for a full hour today, and that's okay. I think, is anyone stuck with anything or anything that's happened to them that they'd like to share? Anything about anything? Cherie, I knew you. Cherie's always got some cool stuff.
Well, I just forgot because I'm pretty excited. I was invited to do I'm on the board of the St. Louis Publishers Association, and we're going to be a part of what's called Festability here in St. Louis. And it's a celebration of people with disabilities and all of the things that they can do for the community. We actually have a disabled writer on our board, and he's nonverbal. So Sean is going to be one of the keynotes, and they invited us to come. So I get to we're all volunteers, it's like pulling teeth to get enough people to do the whole day, but still, it's going to be, I'm really glad to be there to help people with disabilities to hear their voices in writing as well. They have a lot to contribute, and yeah, that'll be a fun thing to do. So I forgot about that. That's something else that I'll be doing. Yeah.
Good on you. That's awesome. Here's Felicia. Good to see your face.
Hi, everyone. And I will say I can definitely, empathize with Denise because I am I've been stuck for years after my editing results came back. But I've been working with Andrew. I've come up with a plan for how I'm going to do all the edits and still keep the intent of my book. And it's just a matter of me making space in my day to get it done, because I live in the world of always being overwhelmed, always with so much to do for work and for family, that it's beginning to get to the point where I don't have a whole lot of time left for myself. And as Andrew knows, I used to, go to the gym all the time and ride my bike. And now I don't even get to do those things every day because in my mind, it's like, oh, I've got to do this work. I've got to get that done. And it's to the point where it's like, well, it's irresponsible for me to go and to the gym when I have all this work to do, or I get on my bike and it's like, oh, it's irresponsible for me to be on this bike. I need to get off and go to work. So I'm trying to get my focus back and push out some of the things that are taking up too much space as much as I possibly can. But now I'm a caregiver of an elderly relative, which is a lot. So that on top of just my own life has now become, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do anything. And before I know it, I'm sitting on the couch falling asleep.
I think we can all probably relate to that. So I think, why don't we, thanks, Felicia. Overwhelm is a horrible feeling, isn't it? It's a horrible, and it's not good for anyone or anything, because you can't focus when you're in overwhelm. You can't produce. You lose creativity. Overwhelm that's when you're operating that sympathetic nervous system, when you're operating out of stress, and that is the killer of creativity. It's a killer of productivity. It's a killer of most things. So why don't we spend a bit of time here, because I think Felicia could probably benefit from some thoughts and ideas of how to maybe deal with overwhelm, but also, some of the things you said, Felicia, you said to yourself, it's irresponsible to go to the gym when you've got work to do. Well, there's another perspective of that. It's irresponsible to neglect your health because of work. So but having said that, I mean, I'd be looking, I mean, you're obviously, health, all of us, health is foundational of everything. The second we let go of our health, the second we're effectively saying, well, what I'm doing is not that important. Because if you can't do it because of your health, then you can't do anything. So, I think there's a real misconception with fitness and knowing, and this used to be mine, that you've got to train for an hour, 2 hours, you've got to push it and do it hard. Do you know what? You could just do 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day of something, that keeps you moving. Keep moving. That just, it doesn't take a lot. It takes no time to make sure you've got a bottle of water by your side. It doesn't take any time to make sure you eat breakfast. It doesn't take any time to have some healthy protein snacks with you. It doesn't take any time while you're talking on the phone to get up and walk around and get steps up. I just think that piece, Felicia, to remove that stress or that feeling like, you're irresponsible. I think maybe gym and riding for a while, maybe, yeah, you put them on the back burner because they're very time consuming, aren't they? Both of those activities. But going for a walk and talking on the phone is not. It's good use of time. Just going for a 10-minute walk around the block is a good thing to do. So I think with the overwhelm thing, I guess it's looking at what are you doing, where are you investing your time, or where can you delegate, what can you change a little bit so that you feel less overwhelmed. I mean, has anyone got any other thoughts?
I don't have a lot of thoughts, but yeah, I think going to the gym takes a lot of time, and riding bikes, and it's all sort of labour intensive as well. So, I mean, there are other avenues, and maybe that's what you could look at. I don't know, Felicia, what you have on your plate or all the stuff that you're trying to do, but I think you always do need to take some time for yourself, because otherwise everything's going to, you do need to take care of yourself, I think, and that needs to get on your priority list, I think.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
That might be easier said than done, of course. I'm not trying to say
yes.
that. You do have to get in that mindset that you're important and you need to have some quality time, and that needs to be one of your priorities, I think.
Guilt can be quite it can be quite a companion, can't it? Yeah. You have to get rid of that guilt, because I don't think it's productive at all. And again, it's easier said than done, because you always feel guilty. I should be doing this for them. I should be doing that for them. And it was he wrote the book. What did he wrote? Don Miguel Ruiz wrote the book, The Four Agreements, which is wonderful. It sold millions of copies. But one of the things that he says in there is he says it takes courage to be selfish. And it talks all about what we're talking about right now. It's saying that, first of all, you have to be brave enough to say to yourself, no, it's selfish is what I need to be strong enough to accomplish all of these things in my life. I can't do this in my current state of weakness. And I think that becomes obvious. Maybe it's not obvious to people. They become weaker and weaker and less capable of handling the things. And yet it seems like more and more is thrown at them. And at some point, you have to be brave. And you have to say that selfish is not a bad word. It can be life-saving to say, no, I have to be brave enough, because when I'm strong enough to deal with all of this, everybody around me benefits from that, because right now nobody is. And when you can look around and see that that's not happening in your life, that people are not benefiting and that you're not benefiting, then that's when you stand back and you say, hey, maybe I should reread that book that talks about it takes courage to be selfish, and not put selfish in a place where it's a bad light. Because I found that out when I was raising 3 boys and I had a full-time job and I owned a company. At some point, You have to say, no, I need to do this because when I was strong, everything worked. But when I wasn't, it just seemed to fall apart. It just crumbled. And you have control over that. And that's, again, look, I know it's easier said than done. But that's just what I have found. And so when I don't write, for instance, I do things that involve me with writing, like what I'm doing with Festibility. I'm going to be around other writers. I just left a barbecue for the St. Louis Writers Guild where we were all, so I make myself be around writers, and that helps me to get back into that inspiration of writing. So that type of a thing, it takes courage. You know, I could have been doing other things. I absolutely could have been doing other things. I could be writing right now, right? But I don't do that to myself anymore because it's not productive. Anyway, that was my 5 cents.
That was more than 5 cents. That was good. That was very good. So I want to just, and I think that's a really important point, but then I think it comes down to this practicality, because I think overwhelm is a real thing, right? Like we all feel it. And what is that? If we look at the definition of overwhelm, it's too much to do, not enough time, correct? Too many things, trying to squeeze it in to the waking hours of your day. And yes, you can increase your waking hours, which means you decrease your sleeping hours, which means you increase your stress, which means you increase your fatigue, and the whole thing comes crumbling down, okay? So let me share, in Bali, obviously we did a lot of stuff, and we spent a whole day on preparation. And let me just share this with you guys, because the whole sort of, can you all see that? The whole, you know, your success, failure, happiness, joy, health, well-being really is based around the priorities that you put on your life. Now, so, you know, because it's always, you know, this whole time management concept is a lot of rubbish. You can't manage time, and you can't save it, you know, because time goes. You can't. Saving means you can put it in your bank and save it. No, you can't do that. Time's going right now, and this time we'll never get back again. So the fact you're here, I think, is amazing use of your time. I mean, you could be doing a lot of other things. So, but having said that, let's talk practicality. Now, everyone's seen something like this, right? You've all seen a weekly planner. And Felicia, my thinking is, and I don't know if you've got something like this at the moment, but what this does is this puts it in front of your face. And this is what I found was the best way to start to eliminate overwhelm, because now I can see my week in front of me. I can see what I have to do, right? I can see my work commitments. I can put in time that I want to focus the priorities. Okay, what are the priorities? The time I'm going to commit to family, the time I'm going to commit to my health and well-being, the time, you know, maybe church or whatever else it might be, the social stuff. And then I can just find those little spots where I can put in my authorship, whatever that might be for you, whether it's writing, whether that's editing, submitting, whatever that might be. I also recommend you need to find space for mindfulness as well, because I think, Felicia, what you're missing at the moment is mindfulness. I think you're in this overwhelm, this stress, you know, this sympathetic nervous system, just to spend even 5 minutes. And I put it before the authorship, because I think if you could just spend 5 minutes before you start writing, just in prayer, in meditation, going for a walk where you're just really seeing what's out there and around you, you'll come back and you'll be bang. You might spend only 30 minutes, but you'll be powerful in that time. And when you look at this in front of your face, like you can see, now obviously yours is going to look different to this because you've got caring, you've got to put in there, you've got your business and stuff you've got to put in there, but you'll see there's still a lot of white space, isn't there? There's still a huge amount of white space. And there might be time for you to put in some just recreation, you know, like watch a movie, you know, and I would schedule that in as well. Because if you're not scheduling in that recreational piece, that stuff that you just love to do, then, you know, you're just running on adrenaline most of your life. So I just want to share that. I can send you, if you don't already have a weekly planner, I can probably find it and pop it in the chat, but I really recommend that's a good thing to do, Felicia. Just to plan it do it every Sunday night. Get out your sheet Sunday night, put everything in that you've got to do for the week coming. And when you look at it, this helicopter view, you go, oh, I can manage that. Bang, overwhelm gone. Because it's in this start of the week going, oh my God, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. How am I going to fit that in? Where's that going to go? Oh my gosh. When you can't see it, it's overwhelming. When you can see it, it's actually, okay, I can deal with it. I can deal with that. I can do that. Does that make sense?
I have the planner. I have it. I just need to use it. So thank you for that. I have everything. It's just a matter when it's, oh my gosh, I got this. I forget the tools that I've used in the past that have worked. It's like, yeah.
And they're so simple, aren't they? The tools are so ridiculously simple, but we just forget them. We all do. Yeah. Anyone else got any other thoughts for Felicia? Or how you maybe handle overwhelmed?
I don't have anything for Felicia. I just think this whole theme of these meetings has been about the expectations of what people should be doing and what we should do and how that's happening, and we're all dealing with that. And I think that's been good for me to sort of hear from other people that because that's what I'm doing too. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I'm not doing that. Yuck. So I've been doing it too, but I haven't got as much on my plate, I'm sure, as Felicia. But I think we've all been talking about what we should be doing, and that's in our heads what we should be doing.
That's so right, isn't it? And there's a perception of what we think other people expect of us, and I think that's where overwhelm is. I'm doing what I think I should do that other people would expect me to do, rather than, hey, this is my life. Now, just having said that, Felicia, Lisa's got some spare time, so why don't you handball some of your stuff to her? There you go, delegate. She's only looking after a puppy dog, and doing a bit of writing. She's got nothing to do with her time, haven't you, Lisa? You've got plenty.
I've got lots less than I had before, but it's still filling it up. But so maybe I need to get on the planner too.
Look, I think it's a good idea, particularly when you're not as busy, because it's so easy to, isn't it, get lost in things that take up time when you plan. And I would schedule writing, and I think those things, even when you've got this whole day, let's say you've got a day with nothing on, Lise, and I could write at any time, but then you don't write. You get to the end and go, oh, I didn't do anything. Schedule it in your planner.
Yeah.
It's like going to work. Treat it like the importance that it is. Give it a time. Say, okay, on Monday from 10 to 11, bang, I'm writing. That's it. It's in my plan and nothing else. If I get a phone call for a go and have a coffee with a friend, sorry, can't do 10 to 11, I'm writing. Let's do 11:30. Do you know what I'm saying? So prioritize it, because if you don't, you'll go, oh, what happened to that weekend? I didn't touch it. And I'm sure we've all done that, haven't we?
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean,
so
the planner, the weekly planner, it's just the simplest thing that
well, you keep chatting amongst yourselves.
Need to be doing that too.
Chat amongst yourselves, and I'll go and find it, and I'll pop it in the chat.
Okay.
Come on, that means someone's got chat.
Well, I was going to say I'm multitasking. I just realized I forgot to turn the water off because I was watering the lawn. So I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Where are we? I know I sent it to someone.
Oh, I was also, I'll talk if we have to talk. So I was also, when we were talking about editing, I also am thinking of doing a course on editing. Oh, yeah. So I think that might be useful. It would help the writing as well as the editing, and not that that seems a very interesting thing to do a course on, but
well, it depends. Depends. But I think it's a great thing to do.
So that I was thinking of, and I'll put it in my plan.
Good girl. Good girl. Okay, where are we? What is that an online thing, Lisa, or is that in a room or?
I think it's an online course. It's about 100 hours,
Oh, okay.
roughly, they say. So it's not huge, but it seems a bite-sized thing to start.
Yeah, sounds good. Here we go. There's a weekly planner. I found it.
I think I'm with Andrew. I love to edit. And I don't mean edit like line edit, technical edit. I mean creative edit. I like to reread something that I wrote, even if it's 6 months. And the longer ago it was, the better. I'll let something sit for a year before I'll go back. And it's just fun to see how much it's matured. Yeah. So I enjoy doing that.
Can you, I don't know, with Zoom, can you paste stuff into the chat? I don't know if you can. I might have to no. What I'll do is I'll attach the planner to the email that I send out after this session. Okay. So the planner will be attached. All right. Well, I think
Actually, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I went and got my planner that's been put away on the shelf, and I think I even have sheets like you
you'll
showed
have
us.
you'll have to unfuzz your background, Felicia, because that's all blurred.
1 second. There we go.
There you go.
So I think I have the pages, like right now it's just a calendar, but I think I purchased the sheet that breaks it down into the hours. And
Yeah.
so I have a planner and I pay for one of these every year, but I don't use it to write down and plan my day. So how smart is that?
Well, I think having one sheet, a week on one sheet, is good because you can just whack that on your office and you've got it in front of your face, rather than a book where you've got to open up and find the page and what am I up to. Put it in your face, Felicia, so it's right in front of you, and you can go, okay, it's Monday. What have I got today? All right, bang, good, awesome, yay, and you can see it, you can do it. You can tick boxes, you can celebrate, remember winning the day. You know, that movement, everything you do is a step forward. Everything is a win, because it's the little things we do day to day. And you might only have 10 minutes to write on a particular, I mean, Tuesday, oh my gosh, what a day. 10 minutes, schedule it in, do it, celebrate it. So, okay. I think we might, unless anyone else has got any thoughts, comments, we might wrap it up. We'll finish a little bit early today because I think we've covered off a couple of pretty powerful principles, haven't we? I think the just keep moving is just keep that in your head, that just every day do something that moves you forward. And maybe if you're feeling overwhelmed or you don't feel like you're as productive as you could be and you're getting distracted, pull out the weekly planner, schedule at the start of each week, schedule your week. And see how that goes and see if that helps you be more productive and reduce that stress or overwhelm. Any other thoughts before we sign off? Awesome. Okay. Well, we will be back. We will be back here in 4 weeks, which will take us to, for the Australians, that'll be the 7th of October. For the Americans, that will be the 6th of October. So I look forward, and obviously there's another one of these on Tuesday evening Australia time, which is probably not going to work for the Americans, but for the Aussies and the Europeans, that will work. Good to see you. Thanks, everyone. Always wonderful to see your faces, and thanks for sharing. And Sheree, good to see you back. Hope we'll see you again regularly. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone, and we'll chat soon.
Bye.